What's up, guys? I'm Element.
And I am Choco. And we are the
DYAD in the Force. Back again, another week for The Last of Us. More Zegapane, more Sag. As always, timestamps are in the description if you want to head straight into the reaction.
I shouldn't go on Twitter in general. I feel like that'd be better for everyone's mental health. But seeing people characterize like maximum character development from someone as filler is infuriating that I almost put my hand through my monitor. I'm excited. I loved last week's episode. Love getting that history. And when she said she's lost people, she meant it. And to move forward. I'm excited. I don't know the story. Y'all have played the game, so like.
Let's hear from channel friends Danielle and Cal. What are you guys looking forward to this week?
Cal, do you want to go first?
I mean, I got enough. I'm somebody who habitually abandons expectations. I like to take something for what it is, what the view of it was. So I'm kind of going in blind at this point. They've proven to me that they're treating this with the utmost respect. So I know that what's coming is going to be faithful and just as amazing as what we've already been given. You know, it's the roller coaster. We're cresting the top, and my hands are up, and I'm ready.
Let's go.
Excited.
He's got his hands up playing the song. The clickers fly away.
No, it's okay. That was good. Picturing clickers flying away now. Actually.
Flying clickers, hard pass. Hard pass. That's an actual bat now.
Well, Pep and I know what happens. I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but it seems like it'll be a pivotal moment, and I'm excited to see how that is portrayed on screen with such talent that we've seen already, and just to see how what this show's adaptation adds to this part of the story that we maybe don't get in the game, or you know, anything that they might change or whatever. I'm just excited to see what they do.
From a storytelling point of view, I feel like they have to get separated, and both of them have the chance to abandon one another, but they have to both actively choose one another. That has to happen. If you guys need to mute me and talk amongst yourselves, go for it.
No, I think I mean, listen, I think for 3 weeks now we've been muting and just saying the same thing to each other, and they've pleasantly surprised us. I guess most of all for Danielle and I, looking forward to the story ahead is more or less what did they change, how did they adapt the story, what was added, what was taken away, and what was rearranged. With that said, let's get into The Last of Us episode 8, titled episode 8, Electric Stairs.
I can show you them all.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Raja's Arcade.
Tonight's my last night in Boston.
Shining, shimmering cabinets.
Dancing in masks and kissing.
It ends this way for
Clickers
everyone.
attacking out of nowhere.
It's the Last of Us on ice.
But we don't.
I will wait with you to die.
It might be too soon, but a whole new bite.
We don't give that up.
Ugh, but still. Aren't you a doctor, Danielle? I like how you kind of like subtly roasted me on Twitter.
I'm not that kind of doctor. Have you listened to the soundtrack? They released it.
Oh no, I haven't.
I'm not.
Not for the show, for the game many times, but
Yeah.
there's a separate one for this.
Yeah, they just released it. It's like 67 songs.
Oh,
Jeez, okay, yeah, that's a listen.
I gotta start covering this song. I mean, it's a really easy song, but
I'll say it's not complex, but it is powerful.
There's 2 guitars in there.
well, absolutely. I mean, the bass is mostly E, but like the last little run switches from a regular minor to a jazz minor, and I think that's really cool. Am I crazy, or did he say the wrong scripture?
Many times.
Hold on.
Asking the wrong person.
Same. I'm like,
Do you remember what comes next?
That might be King James version Gen Z.
I was just trying to like
When can we bury him?
call up a bunch of stuff. That'd be Revelations 21:4.
Hey, it's Troy Baker.
Is that your Ellen impression?
Hey, hey!
The whole town on rations. Maybe a week. 2 at best.
I have a feeling he had to augment his voice to not sound like Joel.
Josiah and Martin think they spotted some deer the other night, a couple miles east.
Probably a little bit.
It was dark. See what you want to see sometimes.
He still sounds like him.
Anyway.
Oh, that anyway was 100% Joel.
James. Yeah. They haven't lost faith in you, David.
Yeah, I knew
They're
it was
just
David.
scared.
Mhm.
Not from them.
Good job considering.
Yeah. No, it's probably the only food they have left.
It's time to hunt rabbits.
I'm hunting a rabbit. She's like, frick yeah. I was expecting her to mommy bird. Anyone else?
Honestly, I was on the
No.
same page. I was like, ew, I mean,
I didn't go that far.
It's kind of a crazy thought, though. It's like, normally you'd want to like hug a wall or something to minimize visibility, but if there's zombies, you want to walk in the middle of the street to maximize time to attack.
No, yeah.
It's just interesting. No.
It's pretty ideal.
Sure. This is a good shot. Joel taught you well.
I don't see anybody. You think we can just take it?
Drop your rifles! Now!
Just trying to sound older.
Yeah.
In your eyes. Ditto for Buddy Boy.
Buddy boy.
We didn't even hear you coming.
Turn around and walk away.
This is my friend James.
I'd like to talk to you about Jesus.
A larger group, women, children, and we're all very, very hungry.
Buddy Boy can go get it. He comes back, you get half the deer.
He's like, by syringe, you mean another gun, right?
All right, I'll come back with 20 men.
10 steps back.
2 rifles, got it.
One for both of you.
You know, you really shouldn't be out here all on your own.
From our listening, you shouldn't be out here on your own.
Fair enough. So, what's your name?
Golly.
Boom, roasted.
It's hard to trust strangers, I know, but
You're inviting me to your hunger club? Thanks.
it's true. We're hungry, but we're still here.
So you went from teacher to preacher because what, it fucking rhymes?
Yeah,
Yes.
But seriously.
there's no such thing as luck. No, I believe everything happens for a reason.
I was just thinking about Obi-Wan.
It does. It does. I can prove it to you.
Okay. Joe, where the fuck do I put this?
Where did she put it, Danielle?
Fuck it.
I mean, I
Where
guess.
are you actually supposed to put it?
I don't think
don't
it's going to be in your
probably in a
blood.
vein. I don't know.
Well, don't they usually do like penicillin shots in like on your
the
butt
thigh?
cheek?
Well, it's because
Sometimes on the thigh.
Oh, it's in a
Tricky
fatty
place to put
spot,
it.
so yeah, it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
And he got stabbed in the stomach, so on your stomach is a good spot for it.
Yeah.
That does track.
Oh. he's leaning his head against hers. It's too much for me.
Venison.
Human.
It's Phil.
Buddy boy already told them.
Tough crowd, huh?
Maybe they were low on their
If you've heard a
meds.
rumor, yes, we found a girl who was with the man who took Alec from us. We'll follow it to wherever they're hiding, and we'll bring that man to justice.
You should kill him. You should kill both of them.
Heck.
Oh, shoot. You gotta keep the pimp hands strong, I guess. But like...
Knew that was coming.
Classic cult leader.
Also classic David.
Yeah.
I think you don't have a father anymore. But the truth is, Hannah, you will always have a father. And you will show him respect when he's speaking.
Pass.
No thanks.
What the heck?
The powdered toast man is the only living bread I follow.
Dang, why does this plate look like the guy
Why are
from
they so
guy
aggressive
from
with their silverware? Does anyone else's silverware not banging around on things when they eat?
his plate looked so
just eat the
full. It
food, not the
reminded me of Bad Batch. 6 sausages in his
Yeah.
cheek.
Mako.
That means people are coming.
I don't mean to question your sense of mercy, David. We can let her go. We bring that girl back with us. She's just another mouth to feed.
If we leave her out here, she'll die.
It's kind of like what Kathleen, another version of what Kathleen said to Henry.
Boy, you don't know what God's will is.
Joel, wake the fuck up, Joel.
I'm having a hard time figuring out how much to hate David in this situation.
Pull it together, Joel. Come on.
Why is he smiling?
He was thinking about the movie Alive. It's a plane crash movie from the 90s. It's not a happy movie, though.
Uh-oh. Callous.
I got her!
Not today. He's got his own plans.
Deliver it.
Oh, so Joel's gonna go all Rambo on him. Okay, I'm into it. They drew first blood.
Can you imagine having to drag that horse however many miles to wherever they
4
are?
miles.
Bro, horses.
I wouldn't want to drag it 4 feet.
Horses
No.
are so big.
So heavy. It was just dead weight. Jeez.
No one brought like a toboggan or anything. Shank him.
Ooh.
Time to twist it.
Ooh.
Come on, don't die smiling. Jeez.
Oh.
Ha! It's a sound I imagine him. Ah!
Not the app.
Oh.
And now I wish I
Well,
had.
that's certainly the goal. Hungry?
Why am I in a cage?
Why do you
Because I'm
guys have a
afraid of you.
cage?
You're a dangerous person. You've certainly proven that. The others, they want me to kill you for all that's happened. Did you hear me say the others want to kill you?
Yeah.
But I stopped them.
Fuck you.
Why don't we just start with your name?
Eat shit.
Hey, listen to me. You can't survive on your own. No one can. But if you can't find a way to trust me, then yes, you are alone.
It's like the theme of the show.
Yeah, unfortunately. He said.
All right, so I mean, the telltale that it is a cult is they rename you, and the fact that they all have biblical names is like
Concern.
Oh, Jesus!
That hurts, but also you deserve it.
I can't help you.
Who's making the sound that Choco wanted?
It's a resort.
A resort? Oh! No! No!
damn.
Jesus! No! No. I believe him. No.
It's an
Oh,
interesting like
Joel.
juxtaposition.
God, that is intensely savage.
God, Pedro Pascal is so good too.
Yeah, it's just.
Jeez.
Ugh. It was Phil.
For what it's
That was
worth,
Alec.
this is just dear me, I swear.
You're gonna chop me up into little pieces.
I'd rather not. Please, just tell me your name.
They've become cannibals.
There are only a few of us that know, but I would have told you. Sooner or later.
That's worse, David. You get how that's worse.
Well, yes, we all are. That's sort of the point. It was a last resort. You think it doesn't shame me? But what was I supposed to do? Let them starve? These people who put their lives in my hands? Who expect me to keep them safe? Who love me?
Yeah, maybe.
You don't believe that. I don't think your friend would either. Didn't he take another man's life to save yours?
He was defending himself.
He was defending you.
Same thing.
But you knew that.
Okay,
You should
like
not.
I don't understand what the
So
what
do
the
I.
argument is.
You know what I see when I look at you?
I think it's just the lengths people
You
will
remind
go
me of
to
me.
protect those
You're a
that they
natural leader.
love.
You're smart, loyal. You have a violent heart, and I should know.
I was a serial killer before.
I've always had a violent heart, and I struggled
Yeah.
with it for a long time.
That's
It would have
why
been the world ended
it
and
wasn't
I was
until
shown the truth.
after the apocalypse he found
Right.
spirituality.
Playground.
No. And it secures its future with violence if it must.
8.
It loves.
All right, that answers my
Are
question.
you telling me all of this?
He's praying to mushrooms now.
They
It's
need
weird.
God. They need heaven.
Pass.
They need a father. You don't. You're beyond that. And all I want
It's another
is an
shepherd.
equal. A friend.
What about
She's a
my-
child.
That's a little
David.
girl. God damn it, Dave.
So much discomfort in this episode.
They do what I tell them to do.
It may be a
follow
bit
me.
late for
So why
that.
are you doing all of this to begin with?
And they would follow us. We'd make this place perfect.
We can
grow.
overthrow the empire.
Spread out. And we do whatever we needed for our people.
join me, we could rule this little place as preacher and child wife or whatever. It's so gross. I hate it. Kill him.
This is making everything hurt.
Yes!
Ellie,
What?
tell them that Ellie is a little girl who broke her fucking finger!
That was perfect, Bella.
Tiny little pieces.
That was a little bit more raw too. Yeah, that was the 3 weeks of discomfort we were holding in. Welcome to the
Welcome to the misery club.
Winter is here.
I'm uncomfortable.
But I was silent waiting for that finger to snap.
Yeah, I mean, you could follow the bloody draggings of a horse for 4 miles, I suppose.
It's always just a funny trope of like, they're a preacher, so either they're extremely helpful or they're a serial killer. There is no in between.
It's even worse this time because it's a pedo too. PDF file.
Callous.
Oh.
Eeks.
Yeah, broke his finger. Broke his finger. Bit his thumb.
Shut up!
I'm infected! I'm infected.
Yeah, that'll stop him.
And now so are you. Roll up my sleeve. Look at it. Look at it! It's for a reason, right?
David. No. No, she would have turned by now. This isn't real.
That looks pretty fucking real to me.
Oh!
Oh, Ellie kills Game Joel.
Did you say live action Ellie killed
Kills
Game Joel?
Ellie, he's your father in another life.
Good job,
Well
Troy.
done, Troy. Well done.
Oh,
That'll do,
Goodness.
pigs. That'll do.
Ooh.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Oh, I hate this part of the game.
It's so hard.
I just hate this.
No way out, Ellie.
I'm uncomfortable.
And I have the keys.
There's windows. So
Ellie?
Jump.
Ellie!
There's chairs. Break the fucking window.
Oh man. I know it's been a while since I played, but just
Ellie! Ellie not
flashbacks.
infected. No one infected fights this hard to stay alive. Or are you just
But where's the
that
broken
Not being
plates
fucking
on the
special.
floor? That give away where you're at.
like being humiliated, Ellie?
why am
You
I
don't
picturing
know
him
how
as
good
Ron
I
Howard?
am.
And it makes it worse.
You don't know what I could have given you.
I don't think she wants what
Oh,
you
that's
could've given
like
her.
incel speech right there.
Well, I have news for you. Neither one of us is dying today.
She's gonna hit him with
Decided you do
blade
need a
barrage.
father.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna teach you. Ellie?
Even though I'm over it, only Pedro's daddy.
Hey, see, now you know how it feels.
Is this what I've been doing to people?
I didn't realize it hurt this much.
Triangle, triangle, triangle.
I thought you already knew. The fighting is the part I like the most.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
There's no fear in love.
Triangle! Oh.
More?
Yeah, it will never be enough.
Forever unclean.
This was
It's so disgusting.
Oh, that transition in her eyes, though, from
It's just like it's awful on literally every level.
this was a huge turning point for her.
It's me. Look, it's me. It's me. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, baby girl. I got you. I got you.
baby girl. Last time he said baby girl was as Sarah was dying in his arms.
Yeah.
I liked that he said, I got you, but as they walk away, they're leaning on each other.
Oh, that was haunting.
God damn it.
So wildly uncomfortable, but then also like super relieved and emotional after that. My body's just like, I don't know how to react or cope.
I'm gonna have to process this episode for a while.
No, she really got me. I mean, I didn't expect myself to tear up at the end there, but like Bella Ramsey, the shock, the realization that it was Joel, just what she just went through in the blink of like 10 seconds. The horror.
Yeah. For me, so there are two things that I think I noticed better in the show than I did in the game. And the first is that Joel does all of this stuff and he doesn't even save her.
Mm-hmm.
He does all this stuff to save her, but he doesn't save her. Ellie saves herself. Mm-hmm. And I think that like I've played the game how many times, like at least 6 times, and that's never really registered with me until I watched the show. And true. I wonder, like, a lot of it has to do with Pedro's acting, and Bella's obviously, of course. And then I guess the second thing I realize is when Ellie is, killing David, there's a moment where the fear in her eyes transforms from fear of what David is capable of doing to her to fear of to realization of what she is capable of doing. And that becomes such a pivotal moment for her.
Yeah, a huge turning point. Ellie, up till now, had only come to terms with being able to be violent for the sake of like defense.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is her violence kind of emerging on the surface level. And you're right, it's very compartmentalized in the game, because when you're captured, you play as Ellie. When you escape, you play as Ellie. And then when you're fighting David, you play as her, and then transitions to Joel.
I mean, also, I do have to give it up to the actor that played David, because
he's good.
God, yeah.
It's weird, because coming into this, not playing the game, not knowing anything, as an actor, he played it as someone who is above all honest. He's obviously evil, honest, and believes what he's doing, which makes him way crazier, way more dangerous than anything else. And he honestly believes, like, no, you and I are the same, and I found a kindred spirit in this child. And you're like, there's just everything wrong with this. I don't know how. I don't think I've ever seen anything take as many things that are wrong and package them into one human who believes he's doing the right thing. That's insane to me. And I don't know. like the way they portrayed that intensity, and like it also feels in that moment when she's like killing him, is she's realizing what she is capable of, but she's also realizing that him saying like, you're smart, you're fearless, you could do this, it's almost like she's realizing he's not wrong. He wasn't lying when he said that. That wasn't a manipulation. Terrifying for anyone, you know?
I was gonna say, we see so many stories of like cautionary tales and stuff like that, and we're like, oh wow, yeah, you know, don't want to be like that. But then to come face to face with that and almost have to tap into it to get yourself away from that is beyond terrifying to even think about.
I think that what we see is also the first time that she realizes that Joel can't always protect her and can't always save her. And up until this point, that's what she's relied on him for. And that's what she's part of the reason she's attached to him so heavily, because he's a protector. He's someone she can count on all the time. And it's not his fault that he couldn't do that this time, but it is, I think, a realization for her that she can't fully count on someone to do that for her.
But then the exact inverse of that is also true of him. My brother is going to be a better protector for you at this point in time. And that also isn't true, because of how he feels about her. Literally woke him up from near death. You know what I mean? Like, yes, penicillin helped for sure, but he was motivated emotionally on a lot of levels. And so that's why the end scene of them both leaning on each other is so powerful, because I mean, like I said in the beginning, they both had to choose each other. Neither is an obligation. Neither is relying solely on this person taking care of me or me taking care of them.
It's a hugely compounding effect in this episode too. Like, to go back to what Choco was saying, to realize that we all have a dark side within us, and to come face to face with it in a situation where you have to bring it out. Otherwise, you're going to either get hurt or die. So you have to come face to face with that dark side, and she has to accept it coming from a person who has just fully embraced their dark side, compounded by the fact that Ellie is dealing with, going off of what Danielle was saying, truly being apart from Joel and having all of this happen to her when that is tested. So Joel can't protect her, and so now she's trying to come to terms with how she's able to protect herself and take care of herself and operate alone. And it's compounded by the fact that this incident happened because she was alone, and Joel was unable to protect her. It's not like it was a night alone and she got scared by clickers. Like, they were finally separated and like got abducted by a cult, cannibal cult, and almost, got, SA'd. And it's just a massive amount of things to deal with on your first time, like, separated from the person that's been protecting you.
Another thing I wanted to talk about that I noticed is that, in the game, you only ever see things in this section from Ellie and Joel's perspectives. And by nature of gameplay, like, you can't see beyond that. And what the show allows us to see, and continually it's done this, but I feel like this is like one of the best instances of this, is that it shows us David's community, and that they aren't all like David. They're not, most of them don't know that they're eating dead people, that most of them are questioning what David's leadership now. And you see the look on the mother's face when he slaps her daughter, and there's a fear there and a very clear, like, manipulation, I think, that he's putting towards them. And that changes for me. Like, I already questioned Joel's actions in the game when he's torturing the men, but in the game you can kind of just be like, oh, well, they're all like David. Like, they were literally just trying to kill me. I can kind of justify, not look too much into what Joel does. These men have families. These men don't necessarily agree with David. They probably don't know that they're eating humans. And
Not to interrupt there, but I was worried about the same thing. But when he said that, like, there are people that know, do we think that it was these people?
He said there's only a few of them.
A few. So apologies to to Buddy Boy from someone who didn't have prior knowledge that David was evil. The episode, if you can divorce yourself of the pre-knowledge, the episode presented Buddy Boy as evil, and David is honestly trying to help a community. And he's like, he's just gonna kill her anyways. They just want to kill her and all this stuff. And you're like, what's wrong with them? And then you realize when he said that's another mouth to feed, they're eating people in their community, and he knows it. You know, like he's from the perspective, he's right. You know, they're having their own little Donner party over there. You don't invite other people to be partakers. You know, you offer them to be contributors. It's just it's a very interesting episode. There's a lot running under the surface of what you're willing to do to protect yourself and the people close to you.
Well, I was just gonna add on to that I think that the cannibalism isn't the worst part of what is happening there. I mean, we can talk about the ethics of cannibalism and what happens in desperation and throughout human history and everything. I definitely think the wrong choice was made to not tell people that you're feeding them human flesh. But if they're literally starving, what are your choices and what are you willing to do? What we saw of some of these men was that if the worst choice they made compared to David was knowing that they were eating human flesh and not telling anyone, I think that there's a little more wiggle room there to say that they're not as horrible. They're still not as horrible as David. Does that make what Joel did to them excusable? Does it make it any more sympathetic, especially when you consider just the absolute blankness on his face as he's doing it? He does not care.
Yeah. I was going to comment on this as you were talking about the rightness of the collective. It's interesting how, going back a few episodes to now, how it's been increasingly been a highlight that they're trying to shine on Joel. They are being very, very purposeful in showing the effect Joel has on society around him in the protection of Ellie, in the pursuit of completing this mission. A couple of episodes back, someone was killed by Joel, and then different groups that we meet along the way, varying levels of karma against Joel, and that is a huge setup. And
I mean, he used to be a straight up marauder at some point.
And then so in your asking that, I think it's not wholly excusable.
I also think it's tough too that in both situations where we have these two different societies that are like, hey, one of our guys was killed by this group, the person who was killed was trying to kill someone else. It's just such a hard gray area, because it's like in neither of those situations were they searching for trouble. And people were actively trying to attack them, steal their stuff, everything like that. So they're defending themselves. It bring about this vindictive retaliation. It's so horridly complicated.
Part of the cannibalism, which we can now retroactively apply to that previous episode, is dehumanization. Yes, they were mad at Joel for killing one of their own. And so from their perspective, from the collective's perspective, we sent out people to gather supplies, and then one of them was murdered by this guy. From the people who gone out, they were going to eat Joel, I mean, I have to assume that's one of the people that was probably in the know. And if they had the opportunity, they were going to they tried to kill him. If they did,
people on a horse.
I bet money they were going to eat them and not tell anyone that that's what they were eating.
While I do acknowledge that those guys had families and stuff like that, and majority of them might have not been in on it. At the same time, it's you can only work with the information you're given, right? And they think they're hunting down some psycho marauder murderer who went out there and killed one of their guys. It's still seeking murder. Even if
it's calling him a psycho murderer wrong, because he got the information he needed.
Yeah.
And he still murked the guy right after. Looked at his friend, knowing that he also was going to kill his friend.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing here is that like there's not one of the main themes in The Last of Us is that there aren't really any heroes or villains, or rather there's not a straight line hero and there's not straight line villains. Violence is not just a tool for the villains. It's a tool that everybody is capable of. And the question that the story forces us to grapple with is there ever a time when violence to this degree is acceptable? And it's not just like, what are the characters going to allow themselves to do? It's what are we as viewers, what's our bar for too much? What's our bar for this? And it forces us to ask that not just about the main character, or not just about the secondary characters, but about all the characters. And including the ones that we spend the most time with, because it almost asks you to question
confront
what
your bias.
Confront your bias, exactly. What are you going to allow?
I'm sorry, that was just so beautifully put that we need to clip that and like put it on a bunch of different things, because even though I haven't played this game or the sequel, it from what I have heard or had spoiled about me from the sequel, it feels like the sequel, they didn't get that this was the purpose of the first game, so we're gonna make you live with it in the second game. And that's where people didn't get it and had problems with it. So I'm anxious to play through both of them. But that was just expertly. Danielle, I love you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal continue to prove that they're some of the greatest talent that we have in acting today.
Absolutely.
Stellar across the board. It's awesome to have a series where there can be characters that are antagonists that play it so well that it's believable, not hated in backlash down. I know that oftentimes, a lot of times people don't see the actor and they just see the character and it's terrible, but to the guy that played David, damn, that was terrifying. I hate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
very
impressive.
talented.
You did a good
you
job.
went to a dark place for it and you succeeded.
You did a good job of making us hate you.
Be careful in restaurants. I don't know.
There's one last episode in this season. Again,
I'm gonna bring tissues.
I'm gonna nod to Danielle.
Oh no. I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
You have yet more things to join us in next week. They might even do more than what we think, but I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I feel like if there was more DLC released in regards to season 1, maybe they could include it in there. I just want all of the things now, and I am beside myself for not playing this game because of my dislike of zombies. There's so few zombies in this game, in this show.
In the show, yeah.
We
haven't
obstacles.
seen one since
I
episode
assume
5.
I mean, I assume
Yeah,
there's a lot in the game, but like
Well,
they're not part of the story. It's
it's not the last of the zombies, it's the last of us. And the zombies are primarily obstacles to get to the next bit of narrative. But that'll do it for this reaction to episode 8, which I'm assuming is going to just be called Lambs to the Slaughter or The Flock.
That's pretty good.
Thank you to Danielle and Cal always for joining us for another reaction. We got one more week left, and then you guys are going to be back for season 2. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In what, 2 years?
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Check out our Supernatural reactions as well as Bad Batch and The Mandalorian. Hit the bell icon to turn on notifications. But as always, what did we learn today, Choco?
If you meet a preacher in the wild, they can be helpful, they can be serial killers, or they could be both. Plan accordingly.
Always be prepared.
Bye, guys.